You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.
It's time once again for another episode of Combat Radio. Quick set of announcements real quick. One of our Combat Radio veteran contributors who we like very much, Dizzy Reed of Guns N' Roses, has announced that the band will be starting a 30-day residency at the Hard Rock in Las Vegas. Get your life insurance policies in order and get out there. They'll be doing 3 nights a week, and it's probably, well, we know them well enough to know it's going to be relatively insane. Doug Jones, one of our all-time favorites. You may know him from Hellboy, The Watch, Everything Under the Sun, from Pan's Labyrinth. Google the guy. His new TV show, Neighbor, starts next week, and it's an awesome show. And Doug, we like very much. You know, he's had a hand in every charity event we've ever done. Also, this show, Combat Radio, in addition to actually being funneled internationally, was the subject of the rather stellar Succotash show, which is hilarious. Not to mention it's also been the subject of Chill Pack Hollywood Hour last week and was featured on both shows. Check them out. They really did a good job. They actually featured us in our Billy D. Williams interview. Made the cut. Who is, you may remember, I asked Billy D. Williams what's it like being so awesome to start the interview, and he says it's really rather wonderful. Anyway, that's Billy D. Williams in Combat Radio on the Succotash show. Now to go around the room, the big victim of Michael Bay, the big robot, as he's known, Bumblebee, Transformers, the guy who does anything for money. He's not proud, as he says so himself.
I've survived 30-odd years in this mad profession.
Yes, and that says something. That says more to young talent than you realize. Also with us is a good friend of ours and one of our favorite collaborators. He, basically does everything from work with us here at the studio to help us with our Christmas breakfast for homeless kids each year. Tom Vitorino, manager of everyone from The Cult to Robbie Krieger, The Doors to Fuel to many, many, many stellar acts.
Thank you very much.
And then, for a piece of culture and wisdom, we actually have, if you'd like the track we opened with, one of the more brilliant artists we're, as an industry, gifted to have, someone who has done everything from Turn the Page with Bob Seger, worked with Eric Clapton, Leon Russell, to just being a dynamic super talent. Marcella Detroit, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You can leave immediately if you've already had enough. I positioned you next to the door just in case. I guess I want to start with this question. First of all, what's it like being hyper talented? But there's a part two to it. You did a video with Mark Ryan, and what's he like on the set? Is he a bit of a diva? This one?
Oh yeah.
Mark Ryan.
It was very difficult.
Was he? Would he come out of his trailer or?
Well, no, and he had to have certain kind of food and drink, and he couldn't have people around,
right.
When we were filming him. He was really quite,
yes.
demanding.
Yeah. Mark Ryan being demanding. What video was that, by the way?
It was for one of your tracks called Flower.
Called Flower, right.
In 1996. Six, was it?
Yeah.
And it was great fun, and I was playing the browbeating husband, and you had that rather remarkable pink floral top. As I'm thinking, whoever did the costume was very, very good. But and the one thing I did remember was eating the cold mushroom soup.
Oh yeah, and we put
did you
all
complain
these
about
plastic
that?
bugs in it.
Oh, and we put in the bugs in it. Oh my God, it nearly made me gip. It was horrible. But anyway, it was great fun to do, and we had a laugh with it. It's actually on YouTube now. You don't know because the fans have been sending copies and going, oh look, there's a clip of him there and a clip there. So that's now out on YouTube. You can find that.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Look for the YouTube clip of Flower. You've got this new record.
Yeah.
Which is a piece of work that everyone seems to be impressed with. The Vehicle, Marcella Detroit, and you're actually got a special engagement. You're going to be doing an event. You're going to be at the Largo, September 19th.
Correct.
And just to get the information out of the way at the top of the show, because we know how this show goes, the Largo is located at 366 North La Cienega Boulevard in Los Angeles. The zip code is 948. Doors at 7 p.m., show at 8 p.m., and this is not to be missed. This is going to be Marcella Detroit with James Gatson and Reggie McBride. So it's what's going to happen here? What is this?
Well, it's actually my self-produced album. Last year I did 2 albums that my publishers stepped up and funded, which was like publishers never do this kind of thing. So it was incredible. I did 1 album. I started it with this incredible musician named Larry Klein, who's a great producer and bassist. He was actually married to Joni Mitchell, at one point for like 12 years.
Wow.
Well, we started an album together, and we did about 5 tracks, and then that was, I think, at the end of April of last year. And then he said, I need 6 months before I can do the next half. So I was going crazy, and I said to my husband, I have to do something. And I had so many songs and things that I wanted to say. So I told my publishers, look, I'm just going to go in the studio and do a record the way I want to do it.
Smart.
Gather like the rhythm section that I want to use, the really funky, soulful players. This guy named James Gadsden, who's played with Marvin Gaye and Bill Withers. He's on Use Me Up. I mean, he's incredibly funky. And the bass player, Reggie McBride. So, to make a long story short, we recorded this album in 16 days from the beginning to end. I wanted it to be a live feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm so tired of all these, like, beep, boop, like machiney things. I'm really sick of it, and that's what I hear a lot in music these days. There's no soul left in it, and anybody's vocal. It could be anybody, you know. Just put it through an auto-tune.
Right.
And it could be anyone singing. So I wanted to do this record this way, and now I'm presenting it this way.
So you're still a rebel. You decided to...
I am a rebel, yeah.
That's cool.
I kind of go against the grain. You know, whatever everybody else is doing, guess what? I'm not going to do it.
Right.
It could be to the detriment of me, but, you know, it's because I just have to be who I am.
Of course.
And so the presentation of the album, it's called The Vehicle. And it's because music is the vehicle of my life. I've been doing it my whole life. And it's, you know, led me all around the world, met some incredible people, and there is the kind of testament.
We're going to play some of this, so I'm excited to hear it. I'm glad that our audience is going to get a chance to...
And the Largo's a
check
great
this out.
place to see a performance.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a great. There isn't a bad seat in the house. It's very intimate. Sound system's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the atmosphere there is perfect. I think it's just going to be an amazing show. It is a not to miss show.
Yeah.
There you go. See that?
Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you. I'll invite you all.
Yes, we'll go backstage. I'll do a little recorder. We'll do like a backstage report for the radio if you want. I'll bring my stuff down and
That'd be cool. Thanks.
we'll knock it out. Hey, is there any truth to the rumor that you co-wrote "Lay Down Sally" with Eric Clapton?
Yeah, I was in his band like twice.
Yeah.
First time in the mid 70s, from like 74 to 78, and we were in the studio at this really cool studio in England called Olympic in Barnes, which is one of my favorite
Amazing
studios
studio.
of all time.
I've worked there.
I've been there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't, so explain it to me. I don't.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be just like any.
It's
the
room.
vibe. It's a vibe.
The room is incredible. I mean, it's
There's a great
Room.
pub on the corner.
Exactly.
Yeah, and a great Indian restaurant across the street, which you called the Manzil, which we used to go to every night. But anyway, we were in the studio recording the Slow Hand album, and we were kind of, in those days, you just kind of went into the studio, and the record company just threw out the money, and it didn't matter if you had all the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of come up with the songs on the spot. And Eric turned to me and he said, "Hey, Marcy, I want to write a song called Lay Down Sally." So I went, "Oh, okay." So I picked up a guitar, and the melody just came to me, "Lay down, Sally," and it kind of went on from there, and it was a whole different groove. But we worked on it for hours, then it became the groove that it is today. So that's how it happened.
And how's your relationship with Eric these days? What's he up to? Do you ever talk to him?
Funnily enough, after like 20 years, I reconnected with this guy who has been his personal assistant since like 1985, which was the second time I was in Eric's band. And he lives about 10 minutes from me.
Yeah.
Out Thousand Oaks way. And through him, I'm kind of back in touch with Eric. I saw him a few years ago while he was at a studio in L.A. called Ocean Way.
Down on Sunset.
Yeah, it's a really cool
Great
studio.
place.
Yeah, very cool.
Sinatra, Nat King Cole.
Did you ever work at was it Montserrat?
In Montserrat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's when I rejoined Eric's band. I was invited to come down to Montserrat when Phil Collins was producing the album.
Wow. Do you know Eve that ran the studio there, Yvonne?
Yeah.
She's an old friend of mine from
really?
school from Doncaster.
You're kidding.
Absolutely. No. How bizarre is that? She still lives in Yorkshire. I hope she's listening to this show.
Wow.
Yvonne left Doncaster of all places and ended up running that studio.
Wow.
I saw her.
Wow.
We had coffee the last time I was in the UK.
That's
She's
crazy.
lovely, lovely lady.
She's
yeah.
really nice.
All right, you can text Yvonne real quick. What was Phil Collins like as a producer? Was he pretty dynamic? I mean, he had a
Amazing.
reputation. Have you ever worked with Phil Collins, Mark?
No, I think I met him once He was doing a film called Buster, and he seemed like a very nice guy.
Were you weren't?
I wasn't in the film, no. It was either one of the studios where they were based, or.
He's known as the king of breakup songs. It's quite a reputation. Did he bring any of that to the?
No. I mean, no personal stuff was involved. He's one of those that I would categorize as one of the top producers I've worked with.
Yeah.
Just really nurturing and all about the music and getting the best out of the artist and the performance.
It's kind of sad he can't play anymore, isn't it? Do you know he can't because of his arthritis? He can't.
Is that right?
Yeah, he can't.
I
Yeah.
heard.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, I heard he retired recently,
Yep.
right?
Mm.
Sad.
You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.